All right, folks. So for this, we need 340 oddly specific obsidian in high quality and 120 oddly specific sand, I believe, are the items. Let's put this back over here. Oh, it's your favorite. That's your favorite tab. How's it going, by the way? I hope you're doing okay and you don't mind me ignoring you in game like a complete asshole. And let's see where we need to be to get these items we're looking for under Skysteel tools in the Western Highlands, or I guess we could go out to the Sea of Clouds. But, like, nobody likes the Sea of Clouds. Come on. So I'll just go out to the Western Highlands. So I'm going to go to the Skysteel Manufactory. You're glamming shorts under your alt. Perfect. I like your sense of style? Question mark. And yeah, the picture is very good, but there's a lot of good FF14 pictures in general. So it's just like, oh, my eyes are drawn to this one because it has a Stormblood thing on it. And yes, by the way, I am absolutely just walking out to this location. I'm just walking out to this location, and by walking, I mean I'm riding a flying sheep. This mount is adorable. Again, I need these sounds of the sheep separated as, like, little dot waves or something that I can use for some purpose. I don't know what, because, like, if I had follower alerts, I would do that, but I know that follower alerts are, like, a thing that people really don't like out of all the things on this, because, you know, a lot of people just lurk to the end of the stream, and, you know, they don't want to draw too much attention to themselves, which, okay. That's why I don't do it. Maybe I just have it on my phone or something, if somebody texts me, bam! That's you. And that's why you're talking to me right now, isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm terrible. Okay, I was about to be rustled if I had to go down to the lower levels here. Okay, so... Oh, wow. This is not free? Is my gear just like that shit? Oh, okay, I realize with why this is not 100% free compared to, with Botanist. Because I had a better offhand with the Botanist. I had, like, a level 74 HQ scythe, whereas with this, I'm just using the Deep Gold Sledgehammer that I think you gave me. In fact, you probably did give it to me, because you did give me, like, the vendor gear from the beginning of Shadowbringers when I hit 70, because I was spending, like, all of my life in the Diadem like an idiot. I'm not going to stop you, but also at no point did I ever notice, so, that's me being the fool here, I guess. And our perception is... I was gonna say, are we, like, off by 2 or something? No, we're off by a lot more than that. Wow. That's kind of surprising, because, like, the rest of my gear is good. Except this ring. That was me fucking up. That's... I will 100% admit that I was just like, oh, I forgot to buy 2 rings, but they're expensive. It's okay. A thing here is also that I don't mind failing this a few times, because I can just sell the ones that are regular oddly specific and not high quality oddly specific, even more oddly specific, and just be like, hey, yeah, I got a little extra money. Alright, so there's some oddly specific sand. Can we get just like +5? Yeah, okay, sharp vision. That's... Knew I had that on there for a reason. The actual reason is because I've never done like anything with these hotbars, except for occasionally placing a couple of random tiers of cordials. And I'll just hit it. I should probably just be like, hey, yeah, let me wait for Mind of the Mountaineer. Yeah, it's Mind of the Mountaineer. It's something a little different with Botanist that is not alliterative. Anyway, chat, I hope you're in for a lot of this because, yes. Yes. This is basically what we're doing for a little while is... And you can all blame Tav for this, who suggested that I stream this. It's also partially my fault because I actually decided to, but... That's not how I'm going to look at it. Hey, bonus gathering attempts. On the other hand, this is like another good reason why I was like, okay, I want to have a day of chill stuff, which what I was intending to do a while ago was going to be, okay, Monday will be my current long game, Wednesday will be my current short game, and Friday I'll do casual stuff. And then I just did not really start into a Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream schedule for various reasons of being absolutely bushed constantly. Because living in Donald Trump's America makes you want to die. Just constantly. It is the biggest stressor out there. And before anybody starts, you know, getting all complainy about that, I don't think I have any followers who are, you know, that kind of... Oh boy, we actually did obtain nothing. Wow. Like the first time that's happened today. I don't think I have any followers who are, you know, into Trump. But, you know, before you start getting into that, just... Is it not stressful, regardless of whether or not it's necessarily his fault, which it fucking is? But regardless, is it not incredibly stressful? Wait, are you suggesting that when I say that, I'm not asking that? Because, well, I'm not saying that there isn't, like, you know, maybe if I used my words correctly, that might help. But, I mean, I'm not saying that there's a through line between certain personality aspects, but I'm just saying there sure seems to be a lot of the time. It's like the thing of if somebody is, like, really misogynist, they will also probably be extremely racist and extremely homophobic, and don't even get started on what their opinions of trans people would be. You know, it sort of happens that way. Which is a nice way of saying that, yeah, it's all interconnected for various reasons. This is gonna be a strange. I've got a feeling that I'm not gonna post this after this discussion. Do I want to get murdered on YouTube? Who looks at what kind of numbers my latest video is doing? 50% like to dislike ratio. I hate to do the Ricky Gervais thing, but I think I've touched a nerve. I don't even remember what Ricky Gervais was like doing last time he was around. Just that the last time I heard anything about him, and I think this was before the last time he was on the Oscars, he had a special out where he said some really, really quite nasty things about people. And, like, obviously he was getting rightly excoriated about the fact that he basically, like, he basically compared trans people to chimpanzees. If I'm remembering that correctly, Tav, you have a disturbingly long memory about some things. If that is correct or incorrect, feel free to let me know. But yeah, it was some really seriously transphobic shit. And also, so yeah, he was getting absolutely wrecked by people on the internet who were like, dude, it's 2018 or whenever it was. You know, we should be better than this by now. And that's not funny. And his response is basically like, oh, did I touch a nerve? Was I too edgy for you? You know, basically the kind of amazing atheist kind of shit that, you know, I admittedly would sort of expect out of Ricky Gervais, because I know that he is a very high-profile atheist. And not even in, like, a Christopher Hitchens, Richard Dawkins kind of way, where it's something you could vaguely consider philosophical. Although, again, I would think that that is a bit of a stretch for, even for Christopher Hitchens. Am I wearing a fedora in-game? Yes, actually, I am. That's because I have an unglammed Estes set of gathering. I've heard somebody say before, by the way, that this is absolutely terrible looking. So, I mean, to be fair, it doesn't have like the weird bends that like a Trilby fedora has. Oh god, the holy rainbow hat. Yes, that's another one that's just literally a farming fedora. I'll try that on in just a second. I have had that on at some point and absolutely been like, been making fun of the fact that it is a fedora for gathering in. I've also made fun of the crafting lingerie at some point, as if I'm any better with the fact that I'm not, like, trying this on with any other gear. Because I forgot how to do that, and I'm too afraid to ask at this point. Oh, shit. Display gear. There we go. Amazing. It's right there. Yep, that's definitely a gathering fedora. Yes, let me go mining in my trilby. Always safe. Oh boy. Oh no. Yay, I gained 1,000 gil. I can't get any more experience because I'm max level. Maybe I should just glamour over my gathering gear to be as ugly as possible. Now that we're talking about just the silliness of the gathering fedora. Oh wow, my Steam things are still popping up, I've just noticed. Give me a moment. I should probably turn those off, because otherwise that's actually going to annoy me quite heavily. So I'd like to publicly apologize to whoever just got exposed that their display name is Dutch Santa. I don't think they're from the Netherlands. Is that an option that I can do in here, or is that in settings? Fuck, dude. If you're gonna ask me why I leave those on, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I think I know where I do this. I'm going to switch to the intermission screen for just a moment. That over here. Yeah, just that way I don't expose even more of this stuff and no. Okay, no, I don't think it's here. I was like, oh shit, why can't I close this? Because I'm accidentally hitting caps lock and not tab. Oh wow, look at this nerd who's over here sending me the Dota puck emote. Friends list, gear wheel, notice. Okay. Thank you for doing that for me, because that's, yeah, if I can just, all right, turn that off. Well, at least I have the sounds off. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn all of those off. Thank you. I'm a goddamn idiot. It's amazing that I can find anything. It's amazing that I can get out of bed some days. Not for matters of being tired, but just for being too stupid to find my way out of the sheets. So, wait a second. Guild, Mind of the Mountaineer. Fuck it. We don't have a max of 800 GP. So we can just do this. We can guarantee it, and we can get a bunch of rocks out of this one hole. This one rock hole, I guess. So, quick question, Tav, because you would know this. Is there any use for the oddly specific non-HQ materials other than just to sell? At least the ones that aren't hidden. Shoutouts to Dutch Santa, yeah. What a username. I have a friend from the Netherlands. He can tell you a lot about Dutch Santa. Not the guy whose display name is Dutch Santa, though. This vendor trash? Well, that's fine. That's going to be a lot of money that I get because I'm not... I haven't yet gone back to go get a better hammer. Which, you know what? I think I'm going to... God damn it. Why'd you have to bring up the jorts? Oh, right. I know why you had to bring up the jorts. Get a load of this fucking nerd. I'm looking forward to never hearing that sound ever again. Oh, right. Considers how much time I spend in the diadem. Ugh. Okay, fine. I'm getting on my sheep. I'm gonna go get a better sledgehammer off of the market boards. Give you a nice view of the sheep. It's really cute. You can craft it if I have the materials, or if it's cheaper that way. I probably do not have the materials because I haven't done any gathering in Shadowbringers itself. Unless it's just like all materials that are, or has any amount of materials that are outside of Shadowbringers. In which case, I could get you those. Also, look at my shoe bill. Let's see if I can get you like a good view of that real quick. The amount of fucks this bird does not give. Alright. Market board, show me something useful here. Miner's tools. SD sledgehammer. Jesus, can I get 100 grand? Yeah, why not? Fuck it. I'm gonna I'll spend 104 grand rather. What do I got in my emote window that's using? At you. Hi. Hi there. That's all. Just. Yep, 104K, and I'm just being like, meh. Let's do that. I'm a little crazy. Guess what? I'm not great at money in video games. Either I hoard it or I just cause it to disappear. I'm not going to say that I'm amazing with money in real life either, though, so, like, don't come to me for financial advice. I'll just tell you to either never buy anything or buy this graphics card because somebody I know will not shut up about it. Also, hi there, person who's named Kid Friendly. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at some point, it's not like I can't just raise that back up. I like kind of enjoy going on gathering sprees in this game, so like I absolutely do not. Oh, well, there's a double reason why my stats were so low. It's because I didn't have the fucking Skysteel pickaxe equipped. Oh my god, I would lose my brain if it wasn't attached to my asshole, I swear. Oh no, god, I hope that like nobody else saw that, so they're not gonna just grill me over it forever. Actually, you know what? I should probably just straight up tell I need to straight up tell my friend here that literal on stream. Hope no one else saw that. Yeah, I know, right? The question is, did you see it? Did you see what was wrong? Did you know it was wrong the whole time and not tell me? Just sits here waiting for it. Well, this is going to be... Yes, the thing I hope no one saw, yes. Exactly. I hope you knew it was there. I hope that you had noticed the whole time, like, hey, that texture is the wrong color, and you just refused to say anything, because honestly, that would just be too perfect. Well, whatever. I got an Estate Sledgehammer. I'm gonna need one of the... I would have needed that at some point anyway, because I think that's, like, the best offhand for this job at the moment. So, okay, I just threw away 104k, and honestly, I don't know how to... I don't know what the deal is with crafting that, so I probably didn't have the materials for it anyway. Whatever. It sits here shit posting in the middle of this. Yeah. And again, like I said, I probably would have ended up picking up one of those at some point anyway, so... Yeah. I'll get the money back eventually, and... Again... Actually, I suppose I shouldn't say again about this because I never actually said it, but the odds of me getting, like, a house in this game are not exactly... Not exactly gonna be a thing that is gonna be, like, tomorrow or anything. In fact, I'm fully expecting that once they add new housing plots, which apparently is coming with 535, they're just gonna vanish immediately. Pour one out for all my friends who are on Balmung, am I right? Yeah, I'll do an Unearth 1 just to add a little extra chance here. Wait, 75? Huh? Well, I just know that that's basically the wrong button, so let's go back to the south. Unspoiled to the east. Why don't we go check out what that is real quick? Excuse me. I don't think it's anything too too special. It's not like gold ore or something that I... Remember when we had, like, the entire FC sitting in front of that gold ore thing, just like, hey, yeah, let's get this dirt, and then it turned out that Kiev wasn't high enough level miner to... And by the entire FC, I mean it was 5 of us total. Me, you... And by 5 of us total, I mean it was 4 of us total, rather. Dark matter cluster, and oh boy, yellow copper ore. That doesn't sound very useful. Yeah, Elephant was the other one. And Keef, as I mentioned already. Oh yeah, I gotta turn quick gathering back on because of being in that place, yeah. You know, that place. That place, yeah. The unspoiled node. Hey, there's some of that stuff, and I'll King's Yield it up so that way I don't have to find as many nodes with a hidden item in them. Oh. I'm gonna wait for a minute or two. Actually, that seems like a terrible thing to subject you all to. It's just me just sitting there and just being like, hey, yeah, I'm waiting for my GP to recover. I should have brought cordials. However, I'm also, like, really bad at using consumables in video games. You know, I just sort of recoil at the thought a little bit. Like, can you believe that those even exist and that people use those? Weird, isn't it? One minion. The frog. Finger. Huh? Finger? What the hell? That was the worst Alan as Cloud I've ever heard. Oh yeah, Untitled Goose Game came out on Steam recently, so you know, let's celebrate with our goose minion. Because that's clearly what this is. Not a intended to probably be a baby swan, but if it's ugly duckling, but it's a goose now. This is how I do, like, every emote thing, which is kind of pathetic that I don't just, like, hey, yeah, use the chat box. Either way, let's grab some chunks. For some reason, I don't. For some reason, I don't. That's all I can say right now. I guess it, like, my brain is like, oh yeah, those will definitely produce the messages in chat, which I don't know if that's necessarily actually the case. But if it is, I feel like really bad about doing stuff like that. It's like the say quests thing, right? You feel like such a goober. Oh, okay, they don't. Well, then that's just me being an idiot. I do really love the sound of getting a high quality item while mining. It's just, it lines up so well for some reason. Also, yes, at the end of every single gathering run on any node, I do mentally just sort of expect to hear the sound of the ether gauge filling up for the laser cannon thing in the diadem. It's like, oh yes, I can go vaporize one of these stompy motherfuckers now. No, you idiot. You're out in the field like a normal person. Oh wow, I have not dropped a single frame tonight. That's nice. And I am curious, like, it sounds really stupid, but how the video quality is on Twitch, because I think I upped to 1080p recently, but I don't know that I upped my my quality settings quite enough for that. I just sort of upped them by an amount that I figured, okay, it probably won't make my internet connection absolutely go berserk. Because although my internet connection is way better than it used to be back when I was on AT&T, I still always kind of get a little bit not trusting about it. And yeah. Yeah. It looks nice. Okay. I'm glad for that. Thank you. That's good enough for me. We see a spirit bound ring. You're right, I probably should, shouldn't I? Well, you know, as long as it looks okay on. Oh yeah, so this ring has probably been spirit bound for a billion years at this point. Yeah, everything else is going to be at 1% for, well, everything else except for the pickaxe, which is at 4% for some reason. But this stuff, I picked this up pretty close to when I started on the Skysteel hatchet, which I've already finished. And yeah, it has not gone up like at all. In fact, yeah, see, Dragon Song Hatchet. Yeah. Meanwhile, yes, you can see that my inventory is full of junk. Including for classes I barely play. And seriously unupgraded crafting tools. One of these days I'll get to it, but... You know, one of these days. $120 is what I need for that, right? Yeah, 120 mineral sand here. It's not fossil dust. I can't talk about it being boner dust or something, like a 10-year-old. I should, like, really be remembering to use my King's Yield more on the nodes where I see the mineral sand. Just to get to a point where I don't worry about that very much as fast as possible. And yep, that's basically it, Tab. Speaking of Chonk, did your retainers ever find another fat cat? I'm assuming not, because I probably asked you, like, yesterday or something, too. Or you told me about it yesterday. Of course not. Those bastards! 18-hour ventures. Fucking hell, of course they are. Although, of course, yeah, that should be pretty obvious. It would be very strange if that was a thing that you could get from a 1-hour venture. Looks at how I just keep sending Big Nerd on those to get more bear fat. I hope my water glass isn't making too much noise, by the way. I'm sitting over here drinking my gigantic glass of water, which I don't know if I've ever posted a picture of that anywhere, but it is like the size of my Blue Yeti. And it holds 32 ounces of water, like almost a whole liter. I suppose it would hold about that much of any liquid, really, if I were to put it in there. Unless it was like sulfuric acid, in which case, well, it would probably not have a good time with that. $40-ounce water bottle. That's a lot of water. Well, then again, like a lot of the water bottles, we got a couple of like liter-sized water bottles. So, got it. I just noticed tabs. Just here sipping on my gamer lava. Yeah, pretty much, right? I wonder if there's somebody out there who like just sits around in their stream with like a bottle of hot sauce that they occasionally drink from. Because I kind of picture that. There's definitely some people out there who, you know, are really into the spicy things and make that a part of their identity as a performing artist, as it were. So just somebody out there with, like, just a... when you're too straight edge to drink... Oh, that's good. That's a pretty good joke. Get a load of this nerd. So my laugh just turns into that slowly. Oh god, that emote. I forgot that was a thing. That is... Is that your... Yeah, it's your own screaming heart thing. It makes me think of something from like Earthworm Jim. Or maybe like a Homestar Runner thing. I guess. Homestar Runner, yeah, sure. That would be strange even by Homestar Runner standards. No yelling, please scream in your heart. Nice. That's pretty great. So, I mean, yeah, it fits. Badly translated signage provides a lot of very strange turns of phrase. Like, I think there was one that said something like "fuck vegetables" or something as the English caption underneath the non-English writing. It's a good thing you didn't make an emote of that, otherwise Twitch would kick you right off. There's already eggplant. Yeah, okay, point taken. And the eggplant emoji is another emote. Seems a little silly. Can't tell what the third one is. Oh, okay. I'll let nobody accuse us of necessarily being mature adults. How many of these oddly specific rocks do I... I'm about a third of the way done with the obsidian. I'm gonna let my things recover. As my goose just snaps all the way back to the... down the mountain. Like, actually, I can't do this anymore. I'm just a goose. Whoop. Got a really cute expression on its face. I mean, early on, I bought it entirely for the meme of it being a goose, and it's just kind of turned out to be one of my favorites, so... Of course, very few things can beat out the shoe bill, just because the shoe bill is... great. The sheer level of disapproval that it gives on a constant basis. Speaking of which, if I'm going to stream more of this, I definitely do need to find, like, a shoe bill emote at some point. I'm sure somebody on FFZ has a shoe bill emote. There's probably a lot of them, actually. I imagine that streaming this is actually quite popular, because I know a couple of people who are, like, friends of friends of friends, basically, stream this. And I think Adara has occasionally... streamed a little of this. People love to judge others live. It's true. It is absolutely true. There's a reason why I'm not streaming, like, dungeon gameplay right now, especially because I'm... That's true, you have a Cactar-based overlay to cover up, like, a bunch of your shit. Meanwhile, at least for a case like this, I absolutely do not mind letting people see, oh my god, those hotbars are a disaster. And if I were to, like, ever get good at Dragoon, maybe I would have those shown. Oh god, I bet my machinist hotbars are a fucking disaster right now. Especially because I just, like, redid this setup for the interface recently to account for the mouse that I got whenever it was. Actually, let me look at that real quick. And besides, I do have a pretty cool looking glamour for machinist. Although, yeah, this is kind of terrible. First things first, I should get rid of that because I have that on the little sidebar there. The one that doesn't change between my classes. Okay, back to what we were actually streaming tonight. Whoops. I got sidetracked. I should redo that at some point, though. I actually did redo my Red Mage one recently. Because I went into a roulette as Red Mage. For some reason. I don't 100% know why I did that, but I felt like it, I guess. I also should do something about Black Mage, but, like, imagine wanting to play Black Mage. Some Black Mage main is gonna get in here and get very, very mad. Yoshi P is gonna find this and be just like, how dare you? I'll be like, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. Yeah. That fell apart fast. Faster than usual for me. Yeah, I got 4 HQs out of that one thing. You judge the unalive as well. Well, I think most of us do that. And it's only +1. I'm not gonna sit here and let King's Yield recharge for that. Oh wait, the other note is right there. What the fuck am I doing? It's like, hey, yeah, we get on a different mountain this time. Well, oh no, now everybody's going to know that I have the Aramon mount, which is, like, super easy to get. I think it was available through, I almost said Chocobo Tomestones. That's not correct. They're Moogles. Although I think they might be better if they were Chocobos. Got the Typhon mount this week. Nice. I'm still saving up MGP to try and get the super cactus, you know. The super cactus, yes. But you know what I'm saying. I think it's just gonna be called the super cactus from now on. No context whatsoever. Right, so we're getting pretty close, I feel like. Well, we're over halfway on the high quality obsidian. And I haven't seen the mineral sand in a while, which is kind of bothersome, but I know we're over halfway on that. Because we only need 120. I mean, I suppose that, like... Deep Vigor is not the one I suppose I could, like, force the issue with Luck of the Mountaineer, I think, but that's, You did all 3 Gatherer tools in one day, so you don't remember it at all. Well, you're better about it than I am, but also you definitely had better equipment than I did. And yeah, I admit that, like, when I was doing this for the hatchet, and by doing this, I don't literally mean that I was out mining with a hatchet. That would be a little silly and probably not very effective. But when I was mining trees, I'm better geared than you are. Wow. To be fair, also, I was like multitasking a lot when I was building up to the Dragon Song hatchet. And in fact, the odds are pretty good that at the time I was juggling between that and like jumping into raids on Grand Blue, because I think that was actually still during the week where the wind raids were getting bonus items. And there's a thing that I'm trying to build using those, and the drop rate on it is absolute fucking balls. I don't know that it necessarily is, but it certainly feels like literally the worst drop rate in the game. And it's a gacha game. For something that is grindable, all of that is necessarily going to be absolutely atrocious. So just think about that. Is all. You know, just think about how fucking terrible that has to be. How absolutely fucking garbage something has to be the worst drop rate in a gacha game. I think I'm just sort of, like, vaguely suited toward grinding out some things anyway, because now I'm trying to remember what the drop rate on the item in question was. I think it was, like, 1 in over 10,000. But I ground out a drop for a really rare weapon in Phantasy Star Online back when I was, on, God, I realized that I don't know how to pronounce the server, but I feel like everybody called it Shit Hack, which I don't think is quite correct, because it was, like, SCHT Hack was the guy who originally ran it, and then he disappeared years later to be run by people who just did not care. But under that period, I ground out that item, and it was like a 1 in 10k drop rate or something. And one of the people I was partied with stole it. Like, I'd made kind of clear, like, I didn't really. There's not much I can do about that, but it was still kind of the douchebaggiest thing that I run into in that game. And it did make me very, very pissed off. I ended up just trading for it on a different server many years later, and I haven't played PSO in probably 2 years. And I downloaded PSO 2, and I have still not gotten around to that. I probably should give it a shot at some point. Don't count on me to stream it at this juncture, though, because I assume that I'm going to run into a bit of a bottleneck there, and that will be that I would probably be using too much VRAM for OBS to one day at least show me that it's going at to give me a frame rate above 1. Which, like, yeah, OBS doesn't need a lot of VRAM to record or to stream. But when you run out, it will laugh at you. And I know this from recording, of all things, Risk of Rain 2, which at its max settings was sucking up all of my 2 gigs of VRAM. This does not, and it's on its max settings. And I mean, right now I'm in a window in 1600 by 900, but I've had it at a higher res. And non-windowed, I don't know if that would have an effect, but it does not suck anywhere the amount of VRAM that Risk of Rain 2 uses for some reason. And I'm just absolutely fucking gobsmacked that Risk of Rain 2 uses that much VRAM. Like, what the fuck? I love the game, and I think it looks great, but I don't think that it looks like something that would use that much VRAM. It's very heavily stylized. I wouldn't say it looks PS2 level, but it's more like... It's like somewhere between PS2, PS3, I guess, but maybe the stylized thing just always looks like it would be weaker anyway. Maybe I should just drop some footage at some point and be like, hey, yeah, how intensive does this look? It doesn't look kill your 2 gigs of VRAM intensive, is what I'll say. Even at maxed out, like, I knocked the shadows down slightly, and it suddenly went from maxing out my 960 graphics card, the 2 gigs of VRAM on that, to... yeah, it's like 1.5 at most, which is still kind of seems like a lot, because, again, I'm pretty sure that this doesn't even get near that at max settings. And then, like, all I did was turn the shadows down slightly, and it was just like, oh, yeah, by the way, we're okay now. So I'm going to let my GP recharge just a little bit. And then I'm going to grab as much of that mineral sand in one go as possible, because then the less time I have to think about that, the better. Yeah, because see, we're at 111 now. All we need is another 9. And then we will be done with the mineral sand. And all we will have to do is gather up another, like, 120 or so high-quality obsidians. Which is something that will just get there all on its own. It's not really a hard thing to do. And yes, I feel incredibly silly using the word obsidians. It seems like a word that should not be, right? Maybe it is a word that doesn't exist. Or a non-word that... whatever. Oh, is there oh, who cares? It's just more yellow copper ore, which... I don't know that that's very important and probably doesn't sell for a whole ton. Yeah, let's look at some mounts while we're here. At Chocobo. My Chocobo's pretty good. I don't have the Butler Barding on right now, but that's something I've bought a surprising amount of cosmetics in this game. Here's our black Chocobo. It's a neat little hat. Oh, it's cute. Here's our FF6 approved Magitech armor. I like that the legs just fold up. It's good. Magitech Deathclaw. This one's always fun. Being carried around by a hand. The Laurel Gubu. This is one of my favorites. It's got a sneeze button. It's completely gross. But also incredibly silly, because why not? Our Aramon, we've shown this off before. The Circus Aramon, this is a Halloween mount that... I think the event for this shows up every year, so if you're out there and you want this, sooner or later it'll be available again. The Behemoth. This thing looks really funny when it's walking around, and when it's flying too, because its limbs are just like, like it really should not be doing that. I love this mount too. This is pretty great. Little floating chair held up by bombs. Here's the Yol. A unique whistling sound. I don't think anything else is summoned with that whistling sound. It's alright. Fresh from FF10, here's Ixion. Also, yes, our CP is full. I'm showing off mounts at this point. The Whale! I spent far too much money on this, but it's really, really good. It's silly because it clips into things. Because it's so big. Here's a Dalmel. It looks dumb. I feel like its neck should flop more. Sheep, of course. The Mana Cutter. The favorite of at least one person in the world. Is all that I know for sure. We got Xanthos, the green horse. We've seen this earlier. Tab is getting upset about the Mana Cutter. I don't blame you. Well, Foxy, the brown horse here. With the crazy-ass heavy metal music. Let's get a little bit of that. That should wake somebody up. The doggo. I really like the Susano music too. It's pretty good. And lastly, here's McGartimer. Guys, I'm on the entire server. Time for me to get let me get the rest of those mineral sands instead of fucking around like this. So we're actually turning off quick gathering for a second for maximum efficiency. Yes, 120 is what we need. And now we turn quick gathering back on to round this out. And of course, you mentioned Sildra in the link shell, so that's making me think that my friend who's streaming FF5 for like the first time having played it just beat Liquid Fire like yesterday and did it on his first go. I'm kind of proud of him because I seem to remember Liquid Fire being a complete bastard. Oh, look, it's this stuff. I don't need that anymore. I just seem to remember it being, like, really undergeared and had no black mage. Oh, yeah, that'll do it to you. Well, at least, since he's been asking the chat for party member classes, we at least had the decency to give him a black mage. So, yeah, I guess that must have helped him. On the other hand, we also gave him a blue mage, so, you know, maybe we're assholes. Blue mage, the class nobody loves. And they never do right. Tab, do you ever just think about how Kimari has absolutely no overdrive damage? Because I do, and I cry about it a lot. Wow, I'm so glad that my best use of this... I'm so glad that my best use of this meter is praying that the enemy can be ejected. Can we... I'm gonna charge up to 600. Because, of course, I don't have 800 GP max, but I can do a King's Yield 2 and an Unearth 1 and try to get a decent chunk out of this. Alright, less than 90 to go on the city in here. Oh, wow, I've had that healing choker up there for a while. Hey, that's 11 grand back already. That's like, I almost said that's like 1% of what I spent. No, it's closer to 10%. And by closer, I mean it's more than 10%. I sometimes forget how numbers work. I also forget that I had that item just from the story up there. Like, hey, yeah. It will always feel like 1%. That's correct, actually. I'll give you that one. That is definitely correct. it's one bonus. $68 to go. Got to turn off my auto run there. I started unnecessarily. I don't know why I kept trying to go further up. I should know by now what the boundary of this area is for nodes. Sometimes I just forget, though. Okay, 55 left. Almost there. So if anyone's fallen asleep, well, we'll be done soon. You're always asleep. Yeah, I know that. That sounds about right to me. %68%, huh? That would be my luck. This one's gonna be everything. Never mind. I think the game knows that I was like, I'm almost done. Oh, you're almost done, are you? Sometimes I'm not sure if the thing walking around is the ice zoblins out here or if it's the minion. Almost to 300. And there we go. There's number 300. Only 38 more to go. Those haven't regenerated yet. This is pretty simple rotation. I should not try to deviate, otherwise, because that will be pointless. Pointless. Point to Lester. Wait. Actually, I'd like to know how that's doing. 45% Spirit Bond. That's... So I guess at least we'll be able to extract a materia from that once we finish the Dragonsong Pickaxe, which I'm not going to do tonight, obviously. This is taking as long as it has already, and I'm probably going to just stream the rest of that on my Friday streams. Probably not all in one go, because the next step, which is the last step, I guess, to getting the Dragonsong Pickaxe, is a lot longer. It's, I think, 540 of the high quality item, and the other one is closer to, if not over, 200. Again, I know Tav doesn't remember the numbers and did it all in one day. Yeah, well... That's all I've got to say is, yeah, well. You know, I have cordials. I could probably do that in, like, a stream. I'd say maybe less, but no. Not less. And I do have to remember that I did, like, an hour of Grand Blue earlier, so this is, like... only 2 hours of this that I've completed this in. Will have completed this in. Maybe a little over 2 hours. In fact, let me click over to OBS real quick. Yeah, I've been streaming this for just under an hour and a half. Well, I've been recording it for an hour and a half. So, combined with the amount of fucking around, I probably could do that all in one stream, especially with the assistance of GP items. And remembering to get a second ring if those provide stats other than GP, which is still going to be useful because that's a little extra. Ring is absolutely battered, so I... Yeah, wow. 332. We are very nearly done here. Alright, so let's just do this. I think we can probably pull this off. Alright, here's the whiff. Oh, I'm surprised. Okay, that should be enough of our oddly specific obsidian and oddly specific mineral sand that I can go back to the Skysteel manufactory and get this thing upgraded. Oh. It doesn't want me to go that way. I'm curious what levels I need to... 70? Let's say 61, but that's a much lower level item. Alright. So, to do this, I'm going to have to switch to a different pickaxe real quick, which will be the deep gold. Actually, I could just switch classes. What the hell am I saying? And Skysteel prototype augmentation. Shut up and take my items. And there we go. And let's get a quick look at what it's going to take to get this Dragonsung pickaxe here. 510 oddly specific dark matter, not 540. So I'm actually going to write these down real quick. 510 dark matter and 180 oddly specific striking stone. Oh, I'm quite sure that you do. I'm not entirely surprised to hear this. What other items do you have for sale, just out of weird curiosity? Oh, greens. Fishing bait. Yeah, because you need special bait to get the special fish for the Skysteel / Dragonsung fishing rod, don't you? And grade 7 dark matter. And also, holy fuck, my inventory is a mess. I am well aware of this, don't worry. Switch to miner. Place it with the worst one, apparently. And there we go. Alright. So, I am going to wrap this up by handling my usual retainer stuff. Oh, that's not the bait? Wow, that's kind of rude. That oh, that's one of the crafting quests, I think. Hey, Neil. Here's probably about as much money as we're gonna get selling off the remainder of that obsidian. Repair my gear, please. Yeah. Although again, you know, it's just funny. Okay, Elbert. Elbert, who has a honestly pretty great name. You can take these coins that have been in my thing for a while. And how about 445 oddly specific obsidians? Yes, I'm certain that I wish to sell it. About 3 grand. Okay. Fuck off, Clear Prism. Oh, I had these high-quality cordials in here. I could probably have used those. Whoops. You don't remember that day in your life. Yeah, it was a lot of gathering. That's all I can tell you about it, though. So, again, just to wrap things up, I'm going to go over to the summoning bell here real quick. Send my guys on some ventures. Get Big Nerd's money. And yes, just for reference, Big Nerd and Small Nerd. Big Nerd is a Hrothgar. Small Nerd is indeed a potato. Oh, I was sending you for those, wasn't I? I think that's because I wanted to start trying to do collectibles so that way I could buy some of the master recipes. Right, because there were some things I wanted to do for the, to get some Orchestrions or something. I don't remember. Whatever. Go find me some bear fat, buddy. And have some money for me. You've got a lot of money for me. Wow. 57 grand. That must have been a lot of stuff that I sold. And here's Small Nerd. Again, look. Lalafell. In fairly generic gathering gear, because I haven't done ventures with this guy for a while. Waterside exploration. You do that one yet? No. And I haven't gotten around to getting you better gear. Well, you know what? Just deal with it. Do that one. You'll get some experience. You'll get me a couple of bunnies. And yeah. A couple of monies, yes. The weekly turn-ins, custom delivery. Where's them? A lot of experience in scripts. Okay, that's a thing that I will look into and do that. Thank you for the advice.